Do you ever worry about your mind slowing down? That quiet fear of forgetting names, losing your sharpness, or simply feeling less agile in your thoughts than you once were? It's a very common concern as we get older, isn't it? We see the world constantly speeding up, new technologies popping up every day. And sometimes, it can feel like our brains are just not quite keeping pace. There's this prevailing idea in society that aging inevitably means a decline in mental capabilities, that our best thinking years are behind us, and that we're destined to become less engaged, less quick-witted, perhaps even a bit forgetful. For many, that thought can be incredibly disheartening, leading to a quiet resignation about what the future holds for their cognitive health. But what if that common narrative isn't the whole story? What if there are people, thriving well into their 70s and beyond, who seem to defy these expectations? People whose minds are not just active, but truly vibrant, sharp, and even surprisingly youthful. It's not magic. It's not some hidden secret pill. It's about specific habits and mindsets that actively nurture and challenge your brain, keeping it not just ticking over, but truly flourishing. In this video, we're going to explore what these powerful habits are, the ones that indicate your mind is younger than you think, and how you can integrate them into your own life starting today. Stick around until the very end, because I'll share something truly surprising that many people overlook when it comes to keeping their mind truly young. So, what's one of the most powerful things you can do to keep your mind not just active, but truly youthful, vibrant, and incredibly sharp? No matter your age, it's embracing new learning. Now, you might be thinking, learning. At my age, I've done enough learning. But this isn't about going back to school or cramming for exams. It's about tapping into your brain's incredible capacity for neuroplasticity. Imagine your brain as a bustling city, filled with roads and pathways. When you learn new things, it's like building new roads, new highways, and even new suburbs, expanding that city's capacity and connectivity. The more you use and challenge different parts of your brain by learning something novel, the more resilient and adaptable it becomes. When you consistently challenge your brain with new information or skills, you're essentially giving it a workout. This strengthens existing neural connections and, crucially, creates new ones. This process helps to build what's often called cognitive reserve, which is like a buffer that can help your brain cope better with the challenges of aging. Think of it this way: if you only ever walk the same path every day, that path stays clear, but the rest of the forest grows wild. But if you start exploring new paths, hacking through new undergrowth, you open up new routes and strengthen your ability to navigate varied terrain. Your brain works in a similar way. So, what does this new learning look like in real life? It doesn't have to be daunting. It could be something as simple as spending 15 minutes a day trying to learn a few phrases in a new language. Imagine being able to order a coffee or say hello in French or Spanish. There are wonderful, easy-to-use apps like Duolingo or Babbel that make this fun and accessible. Or perhaps you've always secretly wanted to play a musical instrument. Even something as simple as a ukulele or a harmonica can be incredibly stimulating for your brain, engaging different parts for rhythm, memory, and fine motor skills. It's not about becoming a concert musician. It's about the process of learning itself. Maybe you're drawn to a new hobby that's completely outside your comfort zone. Pottery, basic coding, bird watching, or even delving into your family's genealogy. The internet offers an incredible world of free and affordable online courses, from platforms like Khan Academy or Coursera, where you can learn about anything from ancient history to modern science, from art appreciation to how a car engine works. The beauty of it is that there's no pressure, no grades, just the pure joy of discovery. I once heard about a gentleman named Arthur, who, at 72, decided to learn how to paint watercolors. He'd never held a brush in his life. He started with online tutorials, then joined a local community class. He didn't become a famous artist, but he found immense joy in the process, and he often said that painting forced him to see the world in new colors, to pay attention to details he'd never noticed before. It opened up a whole new pathway in his mind, and his friends would comment on how much more vibrant and engaged he seemed. The key here is to step outside of what's comfortable and familiar. Your brain thrives on novelty. When you challenge it, even gently. With something new, you're sending a powerful signal that it needs to stay adaptable and active. So, pick one thing that sparks even a tiny flicker of interest, and just start. Dedicate even a small amount of time each day or week to it. Visit your local library and browse the nonfiction section for something completely outside your usual reading habits. Or look up community education classes in your area. You might be surprised by the variety of options available, often for a very modest fee. Remember, the goal isn't mastery. It's the journey of engagement and discovery. Now, closely related to learning, but distinct in its power, is our next habit, which truly distinguishes a youthful mind from one that's settling into routine. And that's maintaining a vibrant, almost childlike, sense of curiosity. While learning is about acquiring new knowledge, curiosity is the engine that drives that acquisition. It's about asking why, digging deeper, exploring the unknown, and never assuming you know everything there is to know. It's that inner spark that makes you want to understand how things work, why people do what they do, or what lies beyond the next bend in the road. A mind that stays truly young is one that never stops being fascinated by the world around it. When you're curious, your mind is constantly active, forming questions, seeking answers, and making connections that it might otherwise miss. It keeps your mental pathways wide open and prevents them from becoming rigid and set in their ways. Think about it. How many times do we just accept things at face value? A curious mind doesn't. It wonders, why is the sky blue? How does that new gadget work? What's the story behind that old building? This isn't about being nosy. It's about being engaged with the world on a deeper level. You could cultivate this by reading widely, not just your usual newspaper or genre of fiction, but picking up a book on astrophysics, or a history of a country you know nothing about, or even a book on a philosophy that challenges your own worldview. Watch documentaries on subjects you've never considered, whether it's the migration patterns of whales, the intricacies of ancient civilizations, or the latest breakthroughs in renewable energy. Engage in conversations with people from different backgrounds and genuinely listen to their perspectives, asking open-ended questions that go beyond small talk. You could try exploring new routes on your daily walk, paying attention to the details you usually rush past. What kind of trees are those who lives in that house? What's the history of this street? Even trying a new recipe or exploring a cuisine from a different culture can be an act of curiosity, expanding your palate and your understanding of the world. One woman I know, Clara, decided at 78 that she wanted to understand how podcasts worked, but because her grandchildren kept talking about them. She spent weeks listening to different ones, exploring various topics, and eventually even figured out how to download them. She didn't become a tech guru, but she broadened her horizon and found new interests, all sparked by a simple question: how does this work? Her mind remained incredibly nimble, constantly seeking new understanding. To make curiosity a habit, consider keeping a curiosity notebook. Whenever a question pops into your head, write it down. Then, dedicate a few minutes each day to finding an answer. Whether it's through a quick online search or by picking up a book, spend time in nature, simply observing the way the light filters through the leaves, the intricate patterns on a bird's feather, the tiny insects scurrying about. Engage with younger generations. Their fresh perspectives and knowledge of new trends can be incredibly stimulating. Most importantly, allow yourself to challenge your own assumptions. Why do you believe what you believe? Is there another way to look at it? A curious mind is always growing, always questioning, always open to new possibilities. And speaking of challenging assumptions and exploring, a mind that stays truly young also actively engages in something else that many of us try to avoid in our daily lives. It embraces problem solving. This isn't just about sitting down with a crossword puzzle or Sudoku, though those are certainly excellent mental exercises. It's about actively tackling everyday challenges, big or small, with a strategic and open mind, rather than immediately seeking the easiest way out or deferring to someone else. When you engage in problem solving, you're strengthening your executive functions, things like planning, decision-making, critical thinking, and working memory. These are the very faculties that keep your mind sharp and prevent mental stagnation. Think about the routine tasks of your day. Instead of automatically asking someone for directions, try to figure out a new route using a map or your own sense of direction. If something breaks around the house, instead of calling for help immediately, take a moment to look at it, consider the components, and try to deduce a possible solution. This isn't about becoming an expert repair person. It's about exercising your analytical muscles. Maybe you're planning a complex family gathering or a trip. The logistics involved, coordinating schedules, figuring out transportation, managing a budget, are fantastic opportunities for your brain to engage in high-level planning and organization. Or perhaps you volunteer for a community project that requires you to brainstorm solutions to a local issue. These kinds of activities demand creativity, foresight, and adaptability. Engaging in strategy games, like chess, checkers, bridge, or even modern board games that involve complex decision-making, are also excellent ways to hone your problem-solving skills. These games require you to anticipate consequences, plan several steps ahead, and adapt to changing circumstances. But it extends beyond games too. It's about approaching daily dilemmas with an active, curious mindset rather than a passive one. For instance, if you're trying to figure out how to make a new recipe work with ingredients you already have, or how to organize a cluttered space more efficiently, you're engaging in problem solving. It's about looking at a situation and asking, how can I make this work? Or what are the different ways I could approach this? To make problem solving a habit, try to resist the urge to immediately ask for help for minor issues. Give yourself 5 or 10 minutes to try and figure it out first. Set yourself small, manageable challenges, like organizing a tricky drawer or planning a perfect route for your errands. Offer to help friends or family with their dilemmas, not just by giving advice, but by helping them brainstorm solutions. These habits of new learning, vibrant curiosity, and active problem solving truly create a powerful foundation for a youthful mind, keeping it stimulated and engaged. But there are 2 more crucial pieces to this puzzle, and they might just surprise you in their profound impact. One often overlooked aspect of a young mind isn't just what happens inside your head, but who you share it with and how you interact with the world around you. This is cultivating rich, meaningful social connections. It might seem odd to connect social interaction with a young mind, but isolation and loneliness are incredibly detrimental to brain health. When you engage in meaningful conversations, share experiences, and collaborate with others, your brain is highly active. You're processing information, understanding different perspectives, recalling memories, and expressing thoughts, all powerful cognitive exercises. Social connections provide cognitive stimulation, emotional well-being, and a sense of purpose, all of which contribute to a more resilient and youthful mind. Think about the last time you had a truly engaging conversation with a friend or family member. There's a dynamic exchange of ideas, listening, responding, laughing, and sometimes even debating. This isn't passive activity. It's a workout for your brain. It helps to keep your memory sharp, your communication skills fluid, and your ability to empathize and understand others strong. Loneliness, on the other hand, can lead to increased stress, depression, and even a faster rate of cognitive decline. It's like a muscle that atrophies from lack of use. If you don't exercise your social brain, it can become less efficient. This isn't about having hundreds of acquaintances. It's about having a few deep, meaningful relationships that nourish your spirit and challenge your mind. So, how can you cultivate these connections? It could be as simple as scheduling regular coffee chats with friends you haven't seen in a while, or joining a club or group that aligns with your interests, a book club, a walking group, a volunteer association, or even a local community center with activities like card games or crafts. Consider mentoring younger individuals, whether informally or through an organized program. Sharing your life experiences and wisdom not only benefits them, but also stimulates your own mind. As you articulate thoughts and reflect on your journey, make an effort to reach out to family members frequently, whether through phone calls, video chats, or visits. Even participating in community events, like local festivals or markets, can provide opportunities for brief but meaningful interactions that break up routine and spark new connections. A friend of mine, David, in his late 70s, decided to join a local choir after his wife passed away. He hadn't sung since school. He initially joined just to get out of the house, but he quickly discovered the joy of making music with others. He formed new friendships, learned new songs, and found that the challenge of reading music and harmonizing kept his mind incredibly engaged. He often said it was like a mental aerobics every week. And the camaraderie with his fellow choir members brought immense joy and a renewed sense of purpose. The key is to be proactive, reach out, say yes to invitations, and look for opportunities to connect with people who share your interests or simply bring a different perspective to your life. Your social network is a vital support system for your brain's youthful vitality. And finally, perhaps the most telling sign of a truly young mind, regardless of your birth year, is your ability to do this to practice adaptability and openness. Life is constantly changing. Technology evolves, routines shift, and circumstances can be unpredictable. A mind that stays young doesn't resist change. It embraces it, learns from it, and finds new ways forward. Rigidity, clinging to the way things used to be, or refusing to try anything new, is a hallmark of an aging mindset. Regardless of chronological age, flexibility, on the other hand, keeps your brain nimble, resilient, and responsive. When you are adaptable, you reduce stress, increase your problem-solving capabilities, and open yourself up to new opportunities for growth and enjoyment. Think about how often we might dismiss something new because it's not how we do it, or too complicated. A truly young mind approaches newness with curiosity rather than resistance. This could mean embracing new technology, like learning how to use a smartphone or tablet to connect with family, manage your finances online, or explore new hobbies. It might involve adjusting your plans gracefully when unexpected things happen, rather than letting them derail your mood. It's also about listening to and genuinely considering opinions different from your own, rather than immediately shutting them down. Can you engage in a respectful discussion with someone who holds a different political view or has a completely different lifestyle? That act of cognitive empathy and flexibility is incredibly powerful for your brain. Practicing adaptability also means being willing to try new routines or ways of doing things. Even if your old methods worked perfectly well, maybe there's a new walking path in your neighborhood, a different way to organize your kitchen, or a more efficient way to manage your errands. It's about being open to learning, to adjusting, and to flowing with life's inevitable changes. It's like a river that flows around obstacles, rather than crashing against them. This flexibility allows your mind to stay fluid and resilient. I've seen people in their 80s enthusiastically learn to use video calls to talk to grandchildren overseas, or confidently embrace online banking, while others much younger struggle with basic new tech. The difference isn't age, it's their openness to adapt. To make adaptability a habit, consciously try one new thing each week, even if it's small. It could be trying a new food, listening to a genre of music you usually avoid, or taking a different route to the grocery store. Practice active listening to truly understand different perspectives, and remind yourself that there's often more than one valid way to see a situation. View challenges as opportunities to adapt and innovate, rather than just obstacles. Remind yourself that growth and mental vitality often happen outside your comfort zone, and that embracing change, however small, strengthens your brain's ability to thrive in any circumstance. So, when we talk about a mind that's younger than you think, we're really talking about a mind that is constantly engaged, always growing, and deeply connected to the world around it. It's a mind that actively embraces new learning, whether it's a language or a new hobby, constantly challenging itself to build new pathways. It's fueled by an insatiable curiosity, always asking questions, exploring new ideas, and never settling for knowing just enough. This youthful mind delights in solving problems, approaching challenges with strategic thought rather than immediate frustration, strengthening its critical thinking abilities daily. It also understands the vital importance of cultivating rich social connections, knowing that meaningful interactions are a powerful stimulant for both cognitive and emotional well-being. And perhaps, most powerfully, A truly young mind practices adaptability and openness, flowing with change, embracing new ways, and remaining flexible in its approach to life. Remember, none of this is about being perfect or doing everything at once. It's about small, consistent steps. Even choosing just one of these habits to focus on each week or month can make a profound difference to your cognitive health and overall happiness. Every little bit truly makes a difference. Your brain is an incredible, dynamic organ, capable of amazing things at any age. And by intentionally nurturing these habits, you're investing in a future of continued mental vibrancy. I'd love to hear from you. Which of these habits do you already practice regularly? Or which one are you most excited to try first? Perhaps starting today. Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your insights could inspire someone else. If this video resonated with you and offered some valuable insights, please give it a thumbs up. It truly helps us reach more people who can benefit from these ideas and helps our community grow. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on future content designed to help you live your best life at every age. Your mind is a magnificent instrument, capable of incredible things at any age. Keep it curious, keep it challenged, keep it connected, and keep it adaptable. And it will serve you beautifully for years to come. Live your best life. Embrace every new day. And remember, a truly young mind is a powerful, beautiful thing.